Hey, you guys. Howdy. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday evening to many of you. And because it's Friday evening, I'm going to keep our little chat short and sweet. But oh my gosh, have I got some great things to show you guys. Be sure to say hi. Say hi and put your name. Say, hey, I'm coming to you from Utah or Canada or UK or Australia or wherever you're at. Just say hi. I'd love to see you and say hi to you. So please add a comment, and that would be awesome. Just a reminder that I'm coming to you these days because this is the time of the year, the only time of the year that I get to promote and let you know about my 52-week photo challenge class that starts in January and it runs the entire year. And now is the registration time, and the early bird price, which is 72% off. It's only $169 instead of $599. It is an entire year of classes. Part 1 is 26 weeks, and then part 2 is 13 weeks. Part 3 is the last 13 weeks, and it is a great journey. I really would love to have you join me. And photoclassforyou.com, I've got it down there in a couple of places. You can pop over there and read all about it, all the equipment, the software, Lightroom, Photoshop, the things that we're going to use. And today, my goal is to show you what the amazing participants in my class have done. Now, I've got students that started with me 9 years ago because we're heading into our 10th year. Some of them have been with me every year because once you go through the class, you graduate and you can go into the critique group. And these students, you know what it's like when a teacher teaches, but then the students get better than the teacher. That happens all the time, and it really, really makes me excited. Cindy, it's so good to see you. Cindy's been a longtime friend, and Cindy, you've participated. So put a comment and tell everybody how much they need to join the 52-week photo class. We only have 2 more days left for you to register at the early bird price, and then it will go to 50% off, so it'll be $299. So if you're even remotely interested in saving some money, the reason I do the early bird is because I actually do start some pre-homework or pre-lessons or pre-planning prior to that January start. So I need as many people in the class as possible just so that you don't feel lost on the very, very first day of class. So if you are a friend or get a friend to join with you, I would love to have you. Crystal, it's so good to see you. My gosh, I wish I could have given you a hug in Houston this year. I missed you. Mary, it's great to see you as well. And thank you so much for appreciating my music. So today, I just want to share with you some amazing photos. I promise I don't think I'll keep you more than 15 minutes maybe to look at these, but let me just pop over while I'm doing a screen share here and get into this. So there's various challenges every week. Now in the 52-week photo challenge class, it comes with a video lesson and a PDF, and you get to watch that video at your convenience, so you don't have to join live. And but then every week is a different topic, and then in the critique group, there's no lessons, but we just get topics and we just take pictures. So the topic this week was FT. And it said, FT means blank, 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 and they could fill it in. In this case, Francisco's was FT means found treasure, found this fabulous architectural house and did a wonderful editing treatment on it. Of course, the editing are things that we learn along the way, and it's really, really pretty fun. So I love that. Now, Warren is an avid photographer. He is extremely good at night photography and wildlife photography. And I have watched him grow over the years. And Warren has actually become one of the instructors at the photo summit that I have had the last 3 years. And he does night photography. So this is the beautiful Milky Way. And of course, you can see the hummingbird. And who can imagine catching that hummingbird, not only in flight, but those droplets of water? Just super amazing, breathtaking images. And here is Carol's photo. Carol is also was doing the FT challenge, and you may not be able to guess this. It's actually in Fruita, Utah, but it is fruit trees. So FT was the challenge, and that was her response. And oh my God, I just love the shapes and the textures and the colors and the composition of this image. Very fun. Now we move into Lori, and Lori's challenge was floating. This is the challenge for the week. And so she did some oil floating in water and used some really cool light sources. Just so inventive and so beautiful to look at. And yes, indeed, these were all students that just started, learning to photograph in my 52-week photo challenge class, and it was really great. Cindy has said, I started at the beginning and have been in this critique group ever since, and I even retook the challenge group a few years ago to get up some pointers. I've learned so much and have become comfortable with Lightroom and Photoshop, and it has changed the way I look at the world. I hope that that will be a testimony that you guys can also have if you've not joined me. Now, Mary is such a fun photographer, and she does many things besides this, but I thought it was so whimsical. This was square in square, or square inside square, and she created this wonderful Photoshop with all of these different images in there. I love seeing the owl split in two, the eyeballs that are peeking through, and it's just really, really a fun concept. And so not everybody is going to find that their Photoshop skills will go to this level, but many people find their niche. And that's one of the things that I've loved, is watching each individual find what works for them and gets them into this wonderful mode of expressing themselves in photography. One of the subjects was called temptation, and Betty Seaman took this fabulous photo of the original temptation with the snake skin and the apple, and Eve has taken a bite. So I thought that was a really fun answer to the challenge. When we're doing still lifes and images like this, I'm often really just encouraging simplicity, remove the distractions, make it simple, keep it easy and clean. And that's exactly what Betty did. Now, Carol's temptation photo was to put this poor pup with a biscuit on its nose, and it's like, just hold still, you can have it in a minute. And I'm no doubt that it turned out great. But it's so fun to see what different people choose. Now, Helen is from Australia. We've had several Australian photographers participate, also from Canada, UK, Germany, Austria, Ireland. It's been all over. But Helen is a long time now participant, and the challenge was straight. And so she's got this wonderful golden hour photo with the silhouettes and all of the wonderfulness. And her model is definitely getting the arms stretched out straight. Beautiful, strong, wonderful image. And Rocky's been with me since the beginning, all 10 years, and just a delight, he and his wife. It's fun to get to know the students, and I would love to get to know you as well. This is his answer to straight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of course, it's been wonderfully treated. Rocky has found his voice in going to the extreme and doing some really fun experimental things with his editing. And so that's something that I've really enjoyed. Fun answer to the challenge, straight. And then Sarah Carpenter, I'm just showing some favorites. At the end of the year, I let people post any photo they want. That's just one of their very most favorites. I love the point of view, being down low so that the grasses are way up tall, the simplicity of the colors, the beautiful delicateness of the colors, and that wonderful thin line cutting through on the horizon. Just a lovely, lovely picture. And it has a fun, wonderful little filter edit on it. So it has this kind of painterly feel. Those are the kinds of things that you learn going through my 52-week photo challenge class. Now, Allison is from Canada, and she's toured with me to Ireland, and that was wonderful. And she has also become wonderful at kind of minimalistic or very dramatic black and white shots. And this is one of her favorites of one of the particular years that she traveled through the year with me. And this is a gas station with single light, wonderfully lit, just very, very powerful image, very clean, and that is something that Allison has definitely become known for. And I think that's the biggest surprise, is not only do I get to know your names, but I get to know kind of your bent, your style, the things that you go for. Angelia has just been such an innovator with the way that she creates her photos. This is like a double exposure. She's got both of the birds. One of them is standing out, but it's just that wonderful mystery of imagery, and it's just so fun. So many students start with I don't even know what aperture, shutter speed, or priority all do, and then lo and behold, you just suddenly start seeing these amazing images coming out of everybody because they found their niche, and I absolutely love it. Betty Gott's photo, can you just believe this glorious time of day? The way that this blossoming tree is lit, the reflections that are in the water. And this one, I believe, has what we call a black and white dreamscape on it. That's a certain editing technique that I teach. And I have no doubt that once that was added, it added a creaminess and kind of this, I don't want to say eerie because it's not ominous, but it has this dark drama and allows for that light to really come forward. Not difficult to do, you guys. It's something that we cover in class. Bill has just been a delight to see his images. They're always clean and simple, and the compositions are very bold and very powerful. And this was one of his favorite photos that he had to submit, and I think this one is absolutely gorgeous as well. I think that the photo class for you, I'm not sure if that shows up on yours or not, but nonetheless, I just don't want things to be covered. So this is Judith Putnam. She was also in the very first class. She's done some wonderful photos. I got another one of Judith's to show you in a moment, but this is in Antelope Canyon, and just a beautiful, beautiful shot. This is one of my dreams, is to go and be in this canyon and shoot these pictures, because everyone, if you were to look online, it is breathtaking at what Mother Nature has done to create these beautiful, beautiful movements through the rock, and always the light looks superb. Lois has been a wonderful participant, and this is one of her favorites to get. Look at that. It's like paper, and delicate and translucent and just beautiful. And the focus is just superb on this, with no distractions, just lovely composition. And sometimes just getting in there and getting up and close and personal with nature really, really can be a great impact. Jonathan is over from the UK, and he did what we call a mirror image. So we take an image, we flip it, we put the two together. But I love the light on this, and I love the way our eye just wants to go through this tunnel all the way into the distance to where we almost come to like a cathedral with stained glass windows and almost maybe some sort of a creature back there that's waiting for us. And whether it's a spooky creature or a friendly creature, I'm not sure, but it's just really great how this image pulls us in, and the time of day where that lighting created that beautiful yellow and gold. Just really fun. And this is one of the first things we learn in Photoshop, which is just a fun technique, and I can't wait to have you in the class to join me for that. Pauline Kirby is also from Australia, and I love this. She was able to get up in a Cessna, flying over the land, and then doing a sepia edit to create this wonderful, wonderful flowing line and all of the textures that are on the ground. I'll tell you, the point of view, sometimes we can't always have an airplane to get us up in the sky, but you can see what wonderful results can happen whenever you're looking at the world from a different point of view. No doubt you've experienced that when you've taken an airplane trip. Chris Marr has also been with me from the beginning, and I think Chris is still boasting the fact that he's never missed a week in all of these years, 52 weeks a year, and he's heading into his 10th year. Chris is a photographer for marching arts, and this is very typical of him, finding these amazing, it could be acrobats or performances or whatever, that are transpiring during these live performances, and his ability to capture these images with clarity is just superb. Chris has also been a teacher at our photo summit, and I just enjoy what he brings to the table. He knows more about Lightroom than even I do, and I learn a lot from him. So thank you, Chris, for your years of participation. It's always a joy. And I love this. Ken took this picture in the fall. I mean, who would not want to be walking up on this scene in the fall with the leaves and the color and this wonderful, it's sort of deteriorating barn, but it's still got structure. Everything is still there. It's absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. Just, I mean, we say picture perfect person, it's like a postcard. Definitely this is one of those kind of images, and the beautiful editing job on this so that it brought out all of the details and no clutter and no, just it's just superb. I love that photo, Ken. It's just beautiful. So I have to tell you guys, when we had the last big solar eclipse, I think it was 2018, might have been 2017. But anyway, I was in Wyoming, and I did a challenge for everybody. Let's all take pictures during the solar eclipse. And Judy, she was in Iowa. I think she was in Iowa. She lives in Iowa, but wherever she was, wherever she went to watch, she wanted to be right there. But they had cloud cover and they weren't getting what she wanted. But she found this group of, I believe, Mennonite young ladies, and they were all excited about the whole experience as well. And she sent this photo in as a result of her challenge on the solar eclipse. And this is National Geographic to me. I just think this is spectacular. Their emotions, the placement of their hands on the glasses, the little one that's not actually using them. Thank goodness there was cloud cover. And then the one peeking in from behind looking at the camera. I just think it's fabulous. And you guys, this is just what we get to experience on a weekly basis because there's so many, many pictures to come in. I want to share a story with you about this fellow named Adrian. And Adrian was a participant with me in a different group prior to 2015. And I invited Adrian to be, and he was Canadian. And he came into the group and he participated in 2015 and he participated again in 2017. He never missed a week. He was really, really excellent by providing comments and critiques and just advice and encouragement to everybody. And this was one of his grandsons. And this picture was on selective focus to show that you can have like a face in focus and then everything blurred in the background. That was the goal of that particular challenge. And this was taken way back. And then in December of 2017, the last photo of the year was favorite photo. And this is the photo that Adrian shared. And this is Michael. And this is his grandson. And he's just tearing up because the older boys wouldn't let him play. And he said, I really struggled with what to submit this year for my favorite photo because this is the one that pulls at my heart. This is the sweetest kid on the planet, and the older kids didn't want to play with him, and he doesn't understand why. And I just feel his emotion. And sometimes, he said, sometimes I realize that these hard times, these moments of sadness or not understanding, these moments where we can't comprehend, they ultimately prepare us for ultimate loss and ultimate grief and sorrow. This is the last photo that Adrian posted. In early 2018, he was cross-country skiing and he dropped dead from a heart attack. And we mourned his loss. And Adrian was such a wonderful, wonderful part of our group. And then to read what he had said about his final photo on how that the expression on this face and what Michael is feeling is preparing him for ultimate loss, and how that we all have to go through these moments of pain to understand. I just look at all of that, and that is probably, when I talk about the community that we've built in this photography group, this is the kind of hurt that we all feel, and yet we have these treasured moments that were captured. Now, this is Helen Bevan's picture. It's her favorite picture. We talk about doing panning either left or right, but to try to follow a subject like this, I think it's wonderful to get that kind of detail on the face and on the shirt, and you even reading the helmet, and yet the scene is blurring by. That's one of the fun challenges that we get to do as well. And this is Gigi Candler's selective focus photo of her dog Dixie. Let me tell you a little bit about Dixie. Dixie has since passed on. But Dixie was Gigi and Bill's companion, the love of their life. And they were in California near Santa Rosa, living up in the hills when the fire came. And Dixie is the one that woke them up during the night. They literally had 5 minutes to grab a computer, the dog, and get out of the house. And they drove through the flames to get out of the fire. They lost their house, they lost everything, and Dixie was the hero of the day that that got them awake, woke them up, and alerted them to that something was wrong. The fire was not expected to come that quickly, and suddenly it did. So these are the kind of pictures that we remember. We remember the stories, and it's all very powerful. Now, I share this photo with you because this is really selective rhoecus. That's really funny. I copied and pasted things, so it's funny that this is misspelled. But nonetheless, Jonathan's picture of selective focus was a picture of having something sharp and everything blur. So you see the orange marble is really, really in focus and everything else is blurred. And after a few months, Jonathan was doing a great job, and I'm talking to him, and somehow or another on social media, we're having a little conversation. And I found out that Jonathan was the musical director, the keyboard player for Lady A, who was at the time still Lady Antebellum. But Jonathan came into the picture. His grandmother was a quilter. He got into the class. We had such a great time. He was a wonderful participant, and then we got to be good friends through both music and photography over the years. So I love how that happens. Lottie's picture, this is so beautiful. This is a composite image, meaning it's two images, and it's not quite a double exposure. Yes, it is, because it's two images, but it's an image of a bird, and then it's the image of the flower, and the flower is kind of tucked into the back, but the flower also kind of colors the bird, gives it this beautiful little purple color, but it's not distracting. They work together. They feel very comfortable together in the image. And, that's working in Photoshop. It's easy to do, something that you can learn very quickly. I would love to have you participating. Now, I have to share this picture with you. It's one of my favorites as well. I've just pulled out a bunch of fabulous pictures that I love. Judith's picture, we saw a picture of Judith. She did the Antelope Canyon photo that we saw a little while back. It was street photography, which is really uncomfortable for some people because they've got to get out and they've got to shoot in public. And sometimes you're getting close to subjects, and sometimes you do talk to people, but you're just catching the world around. So here's what I want you to connect with on this, all right? We have a couple. They're sitting at the table. Now I want you to look at them and look at the body language. She has something to say. And boy, is she saying it, because her finger is pointed. She is going on and on about something. Now look at him and look at his body language. Look at his facial expression. And there's this like, would you please just shut up? Or I don't care. Or you're making me mad. Or whatever. There's this wonderful thing that's going on. And then we see in the window that it's Jack's Java. So it's a coffee shop. And they're sitting at the bistro table outside. Now look closer. On the sandwich board, it says, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy coffee. Oh my God, this is a priceless moment captured. And you know that in street photography, this is not set up. Nobody's posing. Nobody's making this scene happen. It is just absolutely fantastic. I love that photo so much. And the last one I'm going to share with you, it's relatively dark photo. It's the story. I always talk about, photos telling stories. This image is leaving a graveside funeral service, and Barbara Reed took the picture. I really don't know what's going on, but the power and the determination with which this man is walking directly at the camera, too. I mean, he's got to see her. He's right there. The tie blowing off to the side. He's got the car keys in his hand. He's not letting grass grow under his feet. The lady has the yellow rose. I do not know, again, if this is a couple. There's a lot that I don't know about this. But just the location, the cemetery, and the location of the camera, which is directly on in front. They're not walking away. They're not walking off to the side. there's just such power. And then you've got those dark, ominous clouds. Just there is turbulence going on, maybe not just sadness, but there is a lot going on in this photo. And I am so inspired so much. Sue, it's so good to see you here today. Sue's been in the class. Oh my God, I wish I could give you a hug. You need to tell everybody to sign up because it's sign up time, you guys. So thank you for spending your time today just looking at some of my favorite photos that have been done by students. They all start at square one. These are not necessarily experienced photographers. They've got a nice big boy, big girl camera that they bought, and many of you have got that. And you put it on P, which is program, but it really means point and shoot. But there's so much more that you can learn and that you can do. And I would love to have you part of my family for the year 2024. Being in that group would mean a lot to you. It would mean a lot to me. You can register at photoclassforyou.com. The information is there, and we only have 2 more days now for that 72% off discount. The price is only $169 for 26 weeks of lessons. So I would encourage you to join me. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out via email. You can even put a comment in the Facebook page or on the YouTube page, and I would be happy to share any answers with you. Well, it's dinner time here in Texas, so I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Everybody, take care. Bye-bye.